Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. Can you talk a little bit about what the mindset was at halftime? It seemed like you were a little bit more aggressive to the basket.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a talking point?
Well, it was a possession-by-possession game. And I thought we got some good looks in the first half. We kind of got into the lane, got some looks. And then some of the turnovers, I look, and they had 14 points off of turnovers tonight. There was that one costly one in the second half. But in the first half, I thought that was costly in a game like this. But we talked about, against Butler, I said it to him before the game and reminded, I said, Butler will not lose. You're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to beat them. The way they play, I told you at the press conference before, the best compliment I can give Chris and his team is they don't beat themselves. So you're going to have to go beat them. And the four-guard lineup, they were giving us a ton of problems. 45, Andrew, I can't pronounce his last name, but he was terrific, and we had trouble with that matchup. And as Anthony referred to, he mentioned that when we played Blossom game against Clemson, we had to go to that. So we had some past experience that helped us in the present, and we talked about that even as a staff before the game. That may be the case. But you saw plays being made. Mariel made some terrific plays. We don't have a play for him, but he's going to ask for one now, I'm sure, so thanks for that. Malcolm got aggressive driving. The lane opened up a little bit. Anthony got aggressive. And they made plays, too. It was just a games being played, or plays being made. And, defensively, I watched it. We couldn't quite stop them, but sometimes you have to make enough plays.
Let's go to Mike and then Aaron, and then we'll go back there.
Sorry about that. You heard the guys credit, the adjustments you've made, not just during the season, but from past tournament losses. What did you learn from those experiences, and how did that kind of factor in?
Yeah, I mean, the game is, I said, first, you got to be free to play this game. I said, in a way, you got nothing to lose. You watch the tournament, and everybody says, well, if you're a lower seed, you can play with nothing to lose. The higher seeds, these guys, their legacy is intact. They just got to go after this in place. We tried to free their mind to get after it and play the right way. Four-guard adjustments, how we work at things in practice, that's the staff, that's the players. I always ask players, what do you see? Malcolm did say to me, Coach, let me take him. And then we had to decide, because we had to put Anthony on number 0 for them, the shooter, Austin. And but we said, this is a tough matchup for Anthony, but Malcolm just made it hard on Andrew, and that was big for us. So it's a two-way street. Of course, you have to make decisions, but I said, I'm going to ride these guys. The way they were playing, the way Devin Hall picked up the ball and pressured the ball, that was significant. Now, Roosevelt Jones made some big-time shots and plays, but Coach Curtis, our strength coach, gets credit because it was a toughness game, and plays had to be made.
Aaron?
Tony, this might be too good to be true for us scribes, but somebody mentioned that they saw you and Malcolm lock eyes, and Malcolm pointed to his chest at a point when Andrew had scored and made, I think, 39-34, and just basically like this. I mean, did that happen, or was that the turning point there?
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm's that kind of player. I mean, he sees, and he's, you look at him all year, he's guarded point guards, wings, different kind of guys at the 4 spot, and we just said this is the time. So absolutely, he said, I think this is right. And we had talked about that again before, whether it was him or Mariel, but when a guy got cooking like that, you had to respect that. He was doing a lot of things.
Okay, go way in the back. Both those gentlemen have a question, then we'll get done.
Chip Riera, 8 News in Richmond. To go off that, to have that security blanket when someone's just scorching the nets the way that Andrew, I believe it's Trebes, I tried to get it for you there, to have that security blanket, how does that help you when you're looking at trying to get the defense right and you have Malcolm there to shut down their best player?
I mean, just like you need plays being made offensively in games like this, you need plays being made defensively. Sometimes I think our system, it wasn't, we got stretched, we had to do some unconventional things, but you have to, but you need plays to be made defensively and offensively. Just a guy that can bother a shot a little more. Malcolm's strong, so it just was a terrific job by him, and the other guys were working too. I mean, London, we aren't talking about him, and I know offensively it doesn't show, but he chased Kellen Dunham around hard and made him shoot, for the most part, contested shots, except that one big 3 he hit, we should have switched it. So it took everybody, but yes, to have a guy like Malcolm who can, different guys, that was significant tonight.
Get Doug up front. Davis, can you get one to the middle back there?
I'm not sure Mike Tobey gave you all you wanted defensively, but he was 5 for 5 and score was unstoppable there for a couple minutes.
It was a matchup thing. When they had Tyler Weidman out, on the floor, and we thought, okay, we can play Mike. And just we thought we'd have to go 4 guards. We did. And then I know Anthony didn't want to come out of the game, but they put him, and I thought we can get Anthony a rest. 2 huge offensive rebounds, move inside. I just, his minutes were 9 minutes, 10 points, 2 offensive rebounds. And he was so happy for his team. He understood. It was just one of those matchup games. And I can't tell you, what he's done for this team. I mean, he's done it at different times, but his kind of emergence and him playing the way he's playing is significant. Tough matchup defensively when it was either 45, Andrew, or if it was, number 0, so we had to try to find that matchup.
Way back in the middle.
Tony, do you think winning a game in this manner will serve you well going forward in the tournament, maybe more so than a one-sided win?
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, there aren't many one-sided wins when you get into the balance of the teams. But, yeah, you had, as I said, you had to beat Butler. You had to go get it, and in a different way. So, yeah, again, you use that experience. And I haven't seen the game or any of it. Obviously, Iowa State, I understand, won pretty handily. We know how good they are. I've watched them a little bit. So it's just now about who's playing the best basketball at the right time, and it's possession by possession, and that was one of these possession games tonight.
In the middle there.
Coach, I think about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes left on a timeout. You would walk to the middle of the court, looked like you may have got a little lightheaded and had to take a second. One of the coaches got you water. You look like you're doing fine now.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you might need a full-time water coach at this point?
Well, one of my friends, a guy named Duffy Conroy, he'll love this. He sent me a text, and it was a picture. It was of Bobby Boucher, the water boy. He said, hire this guy as your water coach. And I got a picture of Bobby Boucher, Adam Sandler on my phone. But no, that was fine. I think I was more concerned because I had drank so much that I was going to need to take timeouts for bathroom breaks because I was hydrating pretty well. So, no, all good.
Okay, back in the corner again.
Tony, Malcolm and Anthony were key, but Mariel Shayok was as much a part of the game in the win for you guys. To come off the bench, it seems you could just pick somebody on your bench and they could come out and have a big game for you.
Yeah, from a scoring standpoint, he was. And defensively, again, I don't want to make light of what Devin did on the ball, what London did chase him, but he kind of, he has that ability. In our offense, we don't have a ton of set calls for him, but he's since the ACC tournament at different times, he's been able to manufacture his own shot. And in tournament play, sometimes, again, you got to make plays, as I mentioned, offensively and defensively. But he had guys kind of up back and shooting that little pull-up, drove a couple times, and, he just made actually a nice pass. He hit the 3. So every time I thought we could, we had a real quick start to the second half, but they just answered and scored. So I hope it was just them making plays that our defense didn't break down, but we needed all of it. Again, you had to go get it.